Some major breaking news. Roaring Kitty, aka Keith Gill, the man behind the original meme stop craze on GameStop, is officially back. Let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, tweeting for the very first time in 3 years on his account, which then immediately sparks a 74% increase in a single day on GameStop stock. On top of that, AMC, another so-called meme stock, is up over 100%. They say that GameStop shares actually had to be halted several times on the trading exchange because of how high it was going, and continues actually to do so. Now, Gill, it appears, has not yet done a video on YouTube. We're all awaiting that. He recently was portrayed in the movie Dumb Money. Not a particularly great movie, but if you're on an airplane, you should watch it. That's the way I would put it.
Yeah.
Dumb Money recently came out and kind of showed him as this endearing nerd, in his basement who turned, what was it, like $50,000 into $48 million on paper. Eventually sells, gets out, subject of lawsuits, of congressional testimony. Most people thought they would never see him again, but for some reason, he is officially back, and back enough that it's always just amusing watching CNBC and all these business anchors actually grapple with this. So here's how they handle the news of the return of Roaring Kitty.
Yeah, so this is Keith Gill's first online post we've seen in 3 years. Roaring Kitty, as he's also known, was, if you remember, really the Pied Piper of the meme stock frenzy in 2021. He led those online traders to the infamous GameStop short squeeze. This morning, posting kind of cryptic photo of somebody just leaning forward, excuse me, in a chair. And that was enough to send GameStop up, as you said, more than 100%. It has been halted for volatility. Our Robert Hum just sent out a note explaining this. He said trading activity for GME has been only 10 minutes. The rest of the day has been halted, and even with just 10 minutes of trading, the stock did 3.5 times the normal volume. But it's not just GME, guys. Other so-called meme stocks like AMC are also catching a bid. It is one sign of overall risk appetite increasing. You'll also see that showing up in the options market, especially for the most volatile corner of that, ultra short maturities. Once really reserved for professional traders, 0 days to expire options have climbed in popularity among everyday investors. These are one-day bets on the direction of the market, which can offer outsized returns, rewards, and also outsized risk.
So you just gotta love to see the translation, but risk appetite, there ain't no risk appetite, okay? Everyone's just logging back into their Robinhood accounts and they're having fun, which was the entire point of the GameStop craze. But I mean, look, I guess it just does show the power is still there, Krystal, if you want it to be, for the internet. It was such a fun story at the time, the short squeeze, getting the big investors getting screwed, inspired the movie, made Ken Griffin became a household name. There is still some really shady stuff that went on with Robinhood and all of that. I think it was a very illuminating episode for everyone because you're like, oh man, the system really is rigged. Absolutely.
Those were the pieces of it that made the story so compelling and so illustrative of the realities of our economy. So first of all, let's just reflect on the power of this one random dude who can post a meme and move markets to this extent. That's incredible. And especially because, listen, we're used to the Fed or Titans of Wall Street being able to do this, or Elon Musk, a billionaire, being able to do the same. But here you have this guy who just through the force of his persistence, basically was able to persuade people we're doing this, you're coming along, screw what they say, we're all in, we're gonna make this happen, we're gonna screw the shorts, and through just basically his force and persistence, being able to move markets in this way. And there's a few things that I always found really interesting about this story. First of all, it really revealed something that I think a lot of people intuitively know, which is how fake the stock market is to begin with. So the fact that you could have this online movement and really, take it to big Wall Street players in a significant way, that was interesting. And as I said, sort of revealed how fake a lot of this Wall Street shenanigans really are, and stock market prices, et cetera. But then you also had the other side of it, which was, listen, right when they're on the verge of a real victory, the collusion that occurred and the, top-down crushing of this movement. And, they made it so that on the Robinhood platform, you can no longer buy the stock. You could only sell the stock. And that effectively, at least for the time, really, crushed the movement and ended it. So it was this David and Goliath story. David looked like he had the upper hand, and then Goliath comes in, and then, Roaring Kitty himself, as you were pointing to, Saagar, became the subject of all. I mean, he was really aggressively. They dragged him in front of Congress lawsuit. I mean, they went after him like crazy. You would think he was the, villain of the century, et cetera, for his promotion of the GameStop stocks. So interesting to see he's still got it apparently.
Yeah, I mean, his employer, Mass Mutual, was actually fined like $4 million because he was working for them and doing this stuff on the side. He was a shit poster. I mean, it's not even really fair. To be honest, I mean, let's be real. Like, it's an amazing feat. He leveraged his internet personality, his YouTube videos, and Reddit posts, turned $50,000 into some nobody really knows how much of a profit, but tens of millions and millions of dollars for him and for his family. I mean, that's the American dream to me. Somebody like that, that's the best of online influencer. And he did it specifically by going after and beating these hedge fund managers who, as the movie accurately portrays, are just the most the worst people in the US. They create nothing, they do nothing, made tens of billions of dollars betting and defeating and trying to destroy companies. I mean, Ken Griffin's entire innovation is high frequency trading and basically getting an edge by trading something 3 microseconds ahead of somebody else. Sorry, I don't think you're adding all that much, to a value to the United States. But this man is worth what, 30, 40 billion dollars, one of the richest men in the United States. That's exactly why Gil became such a popular figure in his own right. And every time something like this happens, it does show you again. Let's get to the communitarian aspect of what happened back in 2021 is where we just come out of COVID. I'm sure you remember this too, Krystal. This was right after January 6th. So things were tense. I remember covering this and just being like, man, this is the first fun story I'd covered in years. It was just, it was great to just get wrapped up in it. Now, not great for a lot of people out there, and let's be honest, who did lose a lot of money, but you're an adult, you should at least know what you're doing. And by Keith's own admission, he never told anybody to buy the stock per se. Let's put this up there on the screen just to reiterate. This is literally the meme that made it all happen. Just it appears to show a guy who is gaming leaning forward. He has since tweeted out like 25 different of his signature memes, which are like clips from movies and other things, just inspirational. Wolverine coming out of the tank and killing somebody. So maybe he's back. I would really love to see him actually do a YouTube video. We have one of those we can put here on the screen. So here you've got Wolverine in the tank coming out. You're seeing God, what is the metal called?
Metal, I don't remember either.
I'm totally blanking on the name right now. Griffin, you want to tell me what it is?
The Wolverine origin story, basically, right here.
Is that from Logan, or is that, I think that one's from Logan.
No, I don't think so. I think that was in the X-Men, because I never watched Logan, and I definitely have seen that.
All right, got it. Okay, that was X2, I apologize.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I actually loved those movies.
I mean, X-Men movies were great. Yeah. I'm a big Magneto fan. Anyways, I think they're coming back, actually, or there's some fusion of the universe with Deadpool. That's X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's according to our junior guy in the control room. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Ian. So it's one of those where the memes are back, the stocks are back. This will be a fun story. Hopefully, maybe this time around they can crush somebody else, Wall Street person's dreams, but we'll see. And we wanted to give everybody an update and get some of the fun stuff into the show as well.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.